Hey guys, MarvelFan45 here, and today we'll be reviewing The Matrix Reloaded, released in 2003 and directed by Lillian Lama Wachowski. The film stars Lawrence Fishburne, Carrie-Anne Moss, and Keanu Reeves. I almost forgot Keanu Reeves. And the plot follows Neo, who goes to Zion to basically help with the revolution more, and then it also follows the strange happenings with the Smiths in The Matrix, and I'll just say that. But yeah, Matrix Reloaded, another easy 10 out of 10. I could just end the video there because I love this movie so much and just stop, but I won't. There's just something about this movie. Like, we don't get movies like this nowadays. Like, you don't get a movie where a guy hops out of a car with his katana and cuts a truck in half. Like, you don't get those movies nowadays. The score is amazing, the acting is great. I mean, I actually just don't have a flaw with this movie. This movie is harder to talk about for me because so many people hate it, but I love it. I also love Revolutions, but we'll get to that later. But yeah, Reloaded is just sort of like The Matrix. So where The Matrix was campy at some points, The Matrix Reloaded takes the camp and just amps it up, which is why I think so many people hated it. It sort of reminds me of like Danger Diabolique, where it uses so many like cliches and craziness, but it's so good anyway. Like, it's just crazy, like, for the sake of it. It doesn't care if you like it or not, it's just crazy campy fun. Like, that was the best part of the 2000s for me. The 2000s or the 1980s or 60s are my favorite decade in movies because the 2000s had an age of digital movies where, like, we don't really get as many good-looking digital movies now as we did then, because now we've adjusted to this odd Marvel-type, generic-looking blockbuster stuff. But in the 2000s, they were actually experimenting with what, like, a film could look like. Like, Miami Vice is the example I always love to bring up. One of the easiest, like, that gets my highest rating, period. Like, I think I've discussed this many times, but Miami Vice, Black Cat, or Manhunter is always in my top 10 ever. There's always one Michael Mann movie. Like, I adore Michael Mann. But, yeah. This is just like a peak example of 2000s campy digital cinema. Like, this is something where, like, most people will hate it, but I'm in the minority that loves it because I love just campy, crazy, fun movies. And also the fight scenes. Like, Neo fighting, I don't even know how many Smiths on a basketball court is like a highlight of the movie. But then there's, like, the final fight scene with him and the Smith in the building. Or there's the final bit with the Architect 2. Or the highway chase. The highway chase is the peak example. This takes a lot of notes from John Woo. Like, if you've seen Hard Boiled or The Killer or Face Off, they have stuff like this in those movies where, like, a lot of slow motion, a lot of gunplay, and I love it. But yeah, the visuals are also amazing. It actually looks like a computer when you're in the Matrix. And then the outside world is filmed in a strange way. And I just love it. Like, it's hard to explain my love for this movie. But yeah, and pacing-wise, it's also, like, pitch perfect in my opinion. It just goes, like, from scene one, you're just off. Like, it never stops, it never drags, it just keeps on going. And then story-wise, it's also fun. I adore the Architect scene. I know a lot of people hate it, but I love it. And yeah, there's just, like, something about this movie I can't describe. Like, I've seen this movie so many times, it's crazy. Whenever it's on TV, I turn it on. Whenever any of them are on TV, I turn it on. But yeah, I'm not even gonna say this is a bad movie. I actually think it's a good movie, but again, that's a pretty unpopular opinion, so feel free to not listen to me. But yeah, The Matrix Reloaded, 10 out of 10. I love it. There's just something about this movie. It's like a comfort movie for me, honestly. But yeah, that's the end of the review until Revolutions next time. So yeah, expect my Revolutions review next week, and yeah, stay safe and have a good day.